Good morning, YouTube land. Right here in very gloomy Pennsylvania. I want everybody to meet Randy. That's Randy right there. He's a camera holder. Any problems with this video from now on, it's Randy's fault. We're going to start off like that. All right, did everybody meet Randy? He's quite the guy. He don't say much. Kind of just stands there, really. Probably one of the best partners I've ever had. I will start off the video today with, I got to get some of this stuff out of the way. I need more room. So I'm going to put these old heads away back where they was. Not giving up on them, but they will actually have to go to a machine shop now to get new valve guides and everything put in there. That will be at a much later date. Right now we are going to concentrate on getting that 289 cleaned. It is an absolute mess. I'll tell you everybody a little something. I don't know nothing about drag racing at all. This past year was my first time ever doing it. There are guys that I have watched. I've been going to that track since I'm 14 years old. And a very, very dear friend of mine who is gone now. He passed away this past year. Actually, I have his name on Henrietta out there. He took me to that drag strip when I was 14 years old. It was the first time I was ever at a drag strip. He knew that I had an interest in cars. I miss him dearly. He was a wonderful, wonderful friend. A very big part of my life when I was growing up. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that I don't really know. The only thing I actually know is general mechanic work. I've worked on everything that you can possibly imagine on all my life. I have rebuilt truck engines right here in this driveway. When my son was 10 years old, I had a 359 Pete at the time with a 400 Cummins in it with the engine tore down right outside this garage was not there then. And I had him and my nephew out there under a tarp in October in rain cleaning parts with an old wood burner set up under the tarp to try to keep them a little bit warm. And I was lucky. That engine, after I put it together, I run that truck to, I never went into California. I don't agree with their rules out there, but I run it out west quite a bit, into Nevada, Montana, and I drove over the road for many years. And I had a 359 and a 379, both. And just to make sure that that's all clear. And I just enjoy working on things. I help most of the people out around here when I can on just about anything. The neighbors, their furnace went down, and I helped them fix their furnace, and they're lovely and older people, and I just try to help out as many folks as what you can help out in life. I think it just means a lot to some people. And I'm trying to come up with enough sitting down content so that I don't have to get real busy yet. How am I doing? I got this neat little button thing that came with Randy that lets me pause this. I'm never sure when it's paused. I'll be back in a minute, maybe. A little bit more about our mission is to get into the 12s with this 68 Mustang. And my friend that I race with all the time, there's just the two of us. We mostly go to testing tunes. This year I do want to try out a couple of races, but there are guys that do this bracket racing thing that are very, very good at it. I am not good at that light. I've got some videos that I'm going to put up. The first track session we had with me and my cousin, I couldn't get off the light. He beat me every single race, which I think we made 9 passes that day. And boy, that's hard to live that down whenever you do something like that. But then I had a testing tune that I was by myself, which I needed that time with my car to work on timing and getting it dialed in on Henrietta out there, which I am just proud as a peacock. That's a little stock 302 going up against his 355 Chevy that he bought just to race me. He bought that car just to race me. It was already set up. It's 4th gen Camaro with a lot of racing engineering parts on it. I don't know what all that stuff is. My little brother tells me about all of that stuff because he's been drag racing for a long, long time. doesn't have a car right now, but he tells me about all this fancy stuff. I don't know about the fancy stuff. I just kind of go on a whim on everything and hope for the best. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's just what you deal with. Not going to believe this. Already some turmoil. I turned my back for 1 minute and Randy was on top of Barbara. That stuff is not going to fly in this shop right here. That is just not the way we do things around here. Oh, now that we got them two separated, we're still working on getting some stuff cleaned up around here and a little more bench space. I have stuff cluttered everywhere possibly imaginable on top of one another. I got clutter on top of clutter. Crazy. Update on Operation Cleanup. Very slow going. Very, very slow going. But we need a break. Gotta go get a little bit of coffee. Coffee seems to help. And we'll be back shortly as soon as we can actually do some of that kind of work. And hopefully give you an update on that. That would be more success. We found coffee. That will help out a lot in this process. We will start getting these heads off the front of the motor apart shortly. I got to get some more stuff out of the way so I can set them heads somewhere, find a home for them. Running out of room around here, but we'll find somewhere to put them, even if it's wrong. Hopefully they don't fall and clobber anybody. That would be a plus, maybe. I don't know, depending on who it is. My son's supposed to stop over after a bit, pick up the grandkids. They spent the night last night. We had a wonderful evening watching movies, and they play games on a computer. And we are really, really excited about Barbara. I cannot wait to hear it fire up. Not sure on the cam yet. The cam that I got a pretty good lift to it. I'm not sure about that. But we will find out. I have to use clay, put the heads on, spin it over, and see how much I got to trim on them pistons. It's going to be quite a bit. They're, I think, 202 valves. They're AFR Renegades, I think is what they're called. I'm not sure. The valve springs are supposed to be good for 600 lift. What I was told anyhow. Who knows? We will find out. I guarantee you that. I'm hoping we don't find out in a bad kind of way. That would be very... Alright guys and gals, we got a little more of an area cleaned up here. I'm going to start pulling the rockers off one by one. I will keep these even though they're old stamp. I don't know why. I have plenty of them. Boxes of them. But I will give you an update here after I get them all off, and then we'll start taking the head bolts out. Again, just so everybody remembers, I am not a professional. I'm just kind of winging it here. Hoping for the best. Hoping we have good luck. Gotta rely on luck. Sometimes that's all you got to work with is luck. Mine ain't always the best. But we accept it for what it is, though. Being a little stubborn, that one is. piece of zip tie sticking under there. Interesting enough. They're probably professionals right now, shaking their head in grief and anguish. What is the guy doing? He doesn't know either, just in case you was wondering. But we will be. Oh, what are you after, honey? Say something. Huh?
I have to run Vic's stuff down.
What do you mean there's stuff down?
Not feeling good.
I'm in the middle of taking the heater hoses off actually right now. I was trying to get away without taking them off, but they're just way too much in the way. The AC lines are also a bit of a challenge. And this has them old style hose clamps on it, which are very, very difficult to deal with, especially when they're rusted. More rust on this car than what I anticipated there would be coming from Florida. Crazy, I know. Not winning the battle at all with the hose clamps. We are now in, we're just going to cut the hoses off because we're going to replace those anyway with a different style hose. Now we just got to find a razor knife to cut them off. But other than that, that head is almost ready to come off. I'll get the rest of everything off of this one, put everything in the box, seal it up so that I have everything that was in this engine in one box. I will mark the box just in case. All right, everybody, here we are. Got the heads off. Say hello to Randy. Me and him have been talking a lot together here lately. He has issues with staying off of Barbara. He had a bad leg. We got it figured out though. I don't know if you can see, the cylinders in this look wonderful. The normal wear for, I'm assuming the mileage is correct on this because it just looks good. Very happy with how the cylinders look. Definitely stock. Let me get a light over here. The walls look real good. I don't know if you can get a good look at that or not, but they look real good. When I was looking at them through the camera, they did not, I thought I seen a bunch of scarring. Must have just been something on the lens because they do not look like that. Now, I immediately put oil in there and put a film of oil around the cylinders whenever I took it apart. Just a good idea to do that because of the antifreeze that went out of the head into the holes, and I turned it over by hand immediately as well. Next step is I'm going to pull the front apart, get the cam out of it. I got to pull the lifters out of it. I'll do that now, and I will get back with you shortly. All right, guys, just to let you know what my focus is now on this is I am going to go with the Anderson N51 cam in this. I hope this engine is as strong as what that engine is out there in Henrietta. That car has been going up making passes down the track for 7 years and always puts herself back on the trailer at the end of the day. Now, he's not talking about a giant horsepower car or anything like that, but I am proud of it, particularly with who I'm racing against and what he's got going on. He's got a real good car. He put 456 gears in that little rear endo, and I think he broke an axle because the last time we was out, he only made one pass, and then it was sitting on the line, couldn't get out. I'm just pulling these lifters out right now. I use a pair of needle nose pliers, and it gets the job done real good. Be back. You can never really have enough coffee cans and little pill bottles for putting stuff in. They come in very, very handy. I don't know why. I got lots of them, and all they do is sit around. My opponent, we'll call him, I call him Team Chevy. Hope that don't offend anybody. Around here, the war between Ford and Chevy has been going on forever. And it's a friendly type of thing. I like it. Keeps everybody livened up a little bit. Don't mean no harm or no insulting anybody or anything like that. It's just what we do around here. So I hope that does not upset anyone. They pick on me just as much as I pick on them, and we get along real, real good. Where we're at right now, Randy keeps pointing out all the things that I do wrong. Back comes in very, very helpful at times. Got the timing cover off, getting ready to pull the cam out. Stock timing chain gears, not a double roller or anything like that, so I am certain this engine has never been down that far anyway. But there's a lot of leaky gaskets that are going to have to be addressed. I may end up having to pull this engine the rest of the way out. Kind of hoping not, but I do not think that I can get that oil pan down with the motor in the car. We will see, but so far no big surprises on anything. Need to do a bunch of cleaning, and I will get back with you as soon as I get the cam out and see where we're at that time. I'm having trouble still with the beeper and the camera, but trying to figure it out, doing the best I can. Slow, baby steps. Remember what I said about baby steps? Very important to take baby steps. We're trying. If you're wondering what I do a lot of times while I'm not having the camera recording, it would be wandering around looking for tools that I had in my hands, and for whatever reason, right there it is. Fear no more, I found. Alright, we got all the components off to pull the cam. I'm going to do that right now. Actually, after I get a couple of paper towels. I love these towels. Very nice. Get started out. And sometimes be a bit of a bear. Well, we'll be back momentarily once we get it started. Hypothetically speaking, just say a guy would forget to pull one lift rack while attempting to pull the cam out. Not that this actually happened, but in the event that you do that, the cam absolutely will not come out. I'm just saying. My son was here. He got to pick on me about that a little bit. He switched over to Team Chevy. He has a 3rd gen Camaro. I put a set of aluminum heads. He has a 358 in it. We put a set of aluminum heads on it. New intake. A different cam. He'll be getting ready to fire it up here before too awful long. Also, the cam won't come out with the air conditioner condenser right there. That's another issue. Probably going to end up pulling this engine the rest of the way out. I just asked him if he would help me at some point in time this week do that and put it in the rack. And then we will clean the engine bay and everything out, work on some wiring, get the engine put together in the stand. Then once we get it put together, then we will worry about getting her back in there. Be back in an update on this cam. It did not look good at all. It has, let me see if I can get you a good picture. There's a lot of scarring, a lot of wear on that cam. So this was a good move. We will, a lot of scarring. There's a lot of real rough edges. I have not seen that for a while. So, we'll be back. Yeah, and Randy has a mind of his own sometimes. Just so you know. Does a little dancing around there. We got heavy wind going on out there. I don't know if we got weather moving in or what we got, but we do got some weather. I am just about to the end of the day today on what I'm going to do. Let's have what they call an outro. It has been a wonderful day. Actually, got quite a bit of stuff done on the car to actually see how deep into this we want to go. It's looking like it's pretty deep right now. The heater core, I'm afraid, is probably no good. There was a lot of rust in there. I will end up having to probably replace that, and I have never done that on one of these old cars. So that might be, I did it on an old pickup, so, and it was a bear to do on them. So we have that, and this has the air conditioning, and it has an orifice tube, which I think I can switch to an expansion valve. I will have to check on that. I really want to keep the air conditioning in this car. I do not know if I will have good luck getting these lines off of that condenser. That sometimes can be just close to impossible. I did spray it down with some WD-40 and stuff like that, and I'll do that again before I go in. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. This is going to be a pretty fun build for me. It's getting a little bit more crazy every day. The more I tear apart, the crazier it gets. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Hopefully we'll be prepared to be in it for the long haul. With the weather the way it is, she ain't going to see the highway until April anyway. So, but I do have stuff I got to do to Henrietta too. The rear end will be the biggest thing on it. I'm putting 456s in it. And I got to get a set of 31 spline axles. That'll be interesting. And switch it to C-clip eliminators. That has an 8.8 in it. This car here only has an 8-inch rear end in it, and I'm hoping I can beef it up enough to handle what I'm planning on doing with it. We will see. It'll be interesting. Until the next time there, have a good evening, morning, whichever one you're watching this on. And thank you for subscribing, and thanks for the likes, guys, and thanks for the comments. I appreciate all of them. Thank you very much. And I will talk to you in the next video.